This is the Weeb Lounge, and I once soiled myself at a car meet. Yeah, you know how many speed bumps there are to get out of there? It is freaking gross. Yeah, never eating chicken planks again. That was just nasty. My name is Nick, and I'm wearing clean pants. And also, this is our top 5 comedy anime. Now, there's a lot of anime out there that are kind of classified as comedy. You know, a lot of harem anime, a lot of etc. anime, action, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. But I'm thinking more along the lines of anime that is strictly meant to be a comedy. So we're going to go with our pick for number 5. Kill Me Baby. Yeah, that title's kind of is what it is. But if anything goes to show from that little image there of just how goofy this show is, you're in for a treat. Basically, it's kind of like an old four-panel manga, and the jokes come quick, swift, and in little tiny shorts. The two main characters, Yasuna Oribe, is essentially the hyperactive, cheery, practical prank girl or practical joke girl, and overall just kind of annoying but really dumb. We're talking like, you know, you got the dumb school character, and we're talking to the extreme. She dumb, and her new little friend happens to be a trained assassin. Yeah, of course, there's a very elite trained assassin in the high school or middle school or wherever this takes place. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Sonia is the ultimate strict, no nonsense, not funny type of character who thinks she's under constant watch, constant vigilance, constantly potentially going to get attacked. So whenever Yasuna always tries to pull little practical jokes on her and stuff, they usually backfire with her experiencing near death from Sonia. It's one of those slapstick anime where it has a lot of hits, has a lot of misses, and you know, you kind of have to turn your brain off a little bit to watch this one. But overall, it's hilarious. The contrast between the two characters is absolutely great. But you know, if that's kind of not your thing, well then maybe you like something like our number 4 pick. So say you want an anime that's rude, crude, very vulgar, every known nasty word pretty much ever uttered in one show. Well, that's definitely Setokai Yakuin Domo, or Student Council Members. It's a great title. It's whatever. Basically, you got Takatoshi. He shows up at this formerly all-girls school and is quickly hounded into becoming a member of the student council. Well, once he makes his way into the student council, he finds out that every single girl pretty much at this school, especially the other council members, have nothing but perverted jokes, situations, innuendo, you name it, on their mind. It leads to him being incredibly uncomfortable, and actually later on he kind of gets used to it. He thinks that, you know, something must be wrong if they're not cracking some kind of rude, crude joke, right? Takatoshi is the main protagonist. He acts as the straight man, the butt of everybody else's jokes. And then you have Shino, who is the student council president. She is incredibly smart, incredibly popular, and incredibly perverted. Any kind of situation that could warrant any kind of perverted joke, she is right in on it. And then you have Aria, who is, you know, the rich, socially inept girl, I guess. Basically, you know, she's so rich and doesn't know reality from anything. She walks in front of a door, she just kind of expects it to open. She goes by a staircase, she just kind of expects it to be an escalator and move her and stuff. She is a master of twisting people's words, perverted situations, and also, at the ire of Shino, has a huge rack. And them two combined, they can bounce off some really perverted stuff. And then you have the childlike character, the lolly character, I guess, even though she's the same age as everyone else, you have Suzu. Now, the running joke with her is more or less her height. You know, she might be the treasurer, she might be a genius with like an IQ of like 180 or something, but she is incredibly short. She shows up in a lot of the show, but as the running gag, you only see the top portion of her head. She's there, you just can't see all of her, and it's very easy to miss. So if you're looking for something that's just really rude, really crude, but it's hilarious just the same, Setokai Yakuin Domo is definitely one to go with, unless you want to be brought down a couple of pegs. You know, maybe sit back, relax, maybe even be a little depressed or something, which leads us to our number 3. Sayonara Sensibo Sensei. Basically, goodbye teacher despair. This guy sees nothing good in the world at all. The very first episode, he basically tries to hang himself. Yeah, he was saved by a very overly optimistic future student of hers, Fuda. These two are polar opposites of each other. Absolute polar opposites. The teacher finds despair and hate and the evil and whatever in anything ever, anywhere. And Fuda finds the most positive light in everything. Nothing can be so bad. There's something good in everything. Extremely overly optimistic. Throughout the entire series, these two have obviously contrasting personalities. But the great thing about this show is that every single character in Zetsubo Sensei's class, there's something to him. Not very many anime do this, so every single character is actually going to have a developed personality. You have characters like, what is her name? Abiru. She always shows up with bandages on her, around patches on her eye, arms, just all bandages up. Everybody thinks that she's like a victim of domestic violence and, people hate her, she gets beat up or whatever, but no, that's not the case. She's an absolute animal fanatic. She will try to pet or take care of any animal there is, and none of the animals like her. So she is always getting scratched, torn up, bits, whatever. They're all animal injuries. And then you have other characters like Kiri, who is a hikikomori, a NEET, basically someone who stays at home and defends the house. This character is motivated enough to come to school and now doesn't want to leave the school, takes up residence there, and she just kind of shows up in really random places, like under his podium or in a bathroom stall or something, just random, completely random. There's Meru, and Meru is probably one of my favorite characters because it's just, she sits in the back of the class, never says anything, incredibly shy, but always on her phone. So if you want to talk to her, you have to message her on the phone, you have to send her a text. Well, apparently she's an incredibly hateful individual, and her texts are going to be diabolically mean. Some of them are downright hilarious, but she is a mean texter, a social media meanie, I guess. And then you have Matoi, who is a stalker. She falls in love with the teacher, ends up stalking him, and literally will show up anywhere that he's around. So, while the teacher finds despair in everything, I think the students are giving him more reasons to find it, because he'll just be in class overly thinking something, and he'll just be like, I'm in despair, and his brain starts going. The show itself is hilarious. Every character has different personalities, and it's definitely not a depressing anime. It is a hilarious anime. And going from that, we go to our number 2, which is not depressing at all. Now, this anime is similar to Kill Me Baby in that it is composed of a whole bunch of different shorts kind of tied together and such. But My Ordinary Life, or Nichijou, actually has a little bit of structure to it, despite just how slapstick and stupid it can get. Nichijou has 3 main female protagonists, and that is Yuko. She's kind of like a lazy character that wouldn't really call her an airhead, but she always thinks she's funny. but her jokes are always dry and just bad. And then you got Mio, who is a blue-haired, pigtailed girl who's, she's smart, she's energetic, but she is also very short-tempered, especially with Yuko. She is actually a hidden artist. She likes to draw yaoi manga. And she is willing to die, basically, than rather reveal to people that she does this on the side. And then you also have Mai, who is the third girl. She is like, she wears glasses. She's really just kind of there. She doesn't say much, doesn't do much, but she's obviously very intelligent, has a very eccentric type of humor, and is oddly skilled in a lot of different things that make no sense at all. But then you also have the other triple combo, which is Nano, who is a robot with a big wind-up key on her back. Her only goal in life is to attend school and make friends. Yay. But the professor, a lolly child genius, is kind of unintentionally cruel to her, I guess, because she makes a lot of decisions and things that just kind of go against what Nano wants. And a lot of it's funny, and some of it's like, oh, that's kind of sad. Let the robot go to school. Robot wants to go to school, and they find a cat, Sakamoto, which is actually the name of my cat. I named it after Sakamoto. The professor, being the genius that she is, created a little red scarf that allows the cat to speak, and they're expecting this cat to be able to say something cute or be whatever. And they put the scarf around his neck, and he starts talking like a old man. Just like, well, when I was your age, that kind of thing. They almost took it away from him, but is what it is. Overall, this show has a lot of funny moments. A lot of memes were created from this show. A lot of you may have noticed a certain scene where you see this guy in a flak jacket in like kind of like a school field suplexing a deer. This is that show. Okay, this show has a lot of different moments, and even the little cut scenes where they're playing paper, rock, scissors, and then Nano's hand goes shooting off into the wilderness or something. Yeah, there's an awful lot of stupidity that goes with this, but unlike Kill Me Baby, it does progress a little bit of character development, a little bit of a story, and overall, that's why I made our number 2. Now, before I get to the number 1 choice, we have to go to a little bit of an honorable mention. I'm not concluding it in the main just because of it's one off kind of, I don't know how to put it. It's just weird, it's different, it's a one-off, and that is Ghost Stories. Now, Ghost Stories, I'm not going to tell you about the characters. I'm not going to tell you about any plot. There's nothing to say. This show, and we're talking about the dubbed version. You have to have the dubbed version. Ghost Stories is one of many, many licenses that an old distributor, ADV, acquired. ADV went around gathering up a ridiculous amount of licenses for a whole bunch of different anime. And that's, I think, is one of the reasons why they got in trouble and are no longer around, because they would literally license anything just to increase the library size. It didn't matter if it's sold or not, and believe me, I don't think Ghost Stories actually sold. But the reason I bring it up and I include it as an honorable mention is because it's so outrageous and stupid. Apparently ADV had enough money to just license whatever, right? Well, they picked up Ghost Stories. I'm guessing for really, really cheap because they did nothing with it. The English dub, I don't think there was a script. They told the voice actors to just ad-lib everything. Just ad-lib everything. Just corny jokes, stupid jokes. Oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. None of it makes any sense. It's constant jokes, constant stupidity. It's one of those, like, if you have time to just sit back on the couch, turn off your brain, and throw this show on, the English dub version, go for it. I'm sure you'll laugh. It's stupid. It's dumb. But it's an enjoyable kind of dumb. So I call it a one-off because, how many companies are going to license an anime and then just tell their voice actors, say whatever the hell you want? None. It's dumb, but it has its entertaining moments. Oh my god, it show is so stupid. But then we finally get to our number one. And I have to say, I may be a tad bit biased because this is also my personal most favorite anime comedy of all time. So, our choice for number one comedy anime is. Give me a moment. 私が持ってないのはどう考えてもお前が悪い. No matter how I look at it, it's your guys' fault I'm not popular. More commonly known to as Watamote. Oh, God. Put this stupid thing away. First and foremost, whoever started popularizing those really long, annoying titles, here's Tokyo Tower, jump off it. Done. Oh, that trend needs to stop. It really needs to stop. Anyway, this anime is about Tomoko, a incredibly socially awkward, socially inept girl that can't even place a full order at McDonald's properly. Like literally, she goes to the counter, she's able to get out hamburger, but doesn't muster up the courage to actually say anything about a drink and fries. So she's walking around with a tray with a hamburger on it. She gets into all these odd social interactions that if you can't even call them social interactions. She's that socially inept. She wants to be popular. That was her goal when she got into high school, but it's not working out for her. She considers a normal everyday conversation is just saying goodbye to her teacher, and that's a success. Yay. She finds herself getting into all these stupid little situations, cheating at a card game with little kids to make herself look better, a misadventure with a vacuum cleaner. Okay, this show is just great. Even just awkward situations like one where she's walking down the mall with a boys love visual novel and a back massager. You got to see that one. But Tomoko, being as socially inept as she is, she at least wants to get better. You know, her friend from middle school, she's developed. You know, she's gone from being like Tomoko into being, the fancy dress, outstanding girl, your common popular girl in school, I guess. And, even her younger brother, a very seemingly distraught individual, good at sports, has a lot of friends over and everything, but always looks like he's just pissed at his sister. And Tomoko makes the mistake of trying to use him as kind of a sounding board to get better with social interactions and stuff. This is the Weeb Lounge, weebs and everything. There might be a possibility that we see a little too much of Tomoko in ourselves. That's not necessarily a good thing, but this is a funny thing. It's fine. It's perfectly fine. It's one of those shows that you have to watch it from beginning to end, and her character does grow. It does develop. There is manga past the show, and a lot of people. This show just didn't seem to become all that popular, and I think it's really, really underrated. It's our number one choice, and with that, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. We have more videos coming out. We're going to do reviews on Fate Grand Order characters. We're going to be playing over on Twitch Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays. No, not Wednesdays. Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. I'm still getting this together. Whatever. But anyways, that's the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one.